Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. Flying over water is a real blast, and this video was put together to show you that you can do it too by demonstrating simple things to remember and simple things to practice before you take the big leap. Enjoy! I'm going to cover flying over water in 4 categories: high altitude, low altitude, close to shore, and seriously offshore. There's one thing different about flying over water versus land, and that's the winds. Winds over water can be considerably higher than the winds over land. So if you're flying over water, it's strongly suggested to reduce your altitude on the return flight, especially flying into the wind. This will prevent your battery burn from being excessive. Now, flying low over water does require an increase in skill set, and I do highly recommend that you take your time over land, flying 2, 5, 10 feet off the ground to make sure that you can control it accurately before venturing over water. This may save your drone in the long run. Obviously, you will learn a lot by your own mistakes. I certainly did learn from mine. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Gee, that was a bad one. Whoops, bent an antenna on that one. So once you're comfortable flying low and you've taken care of all the rookie mistakes, you're ready to fly over water. I do recommend using tripod mode when flying close to the ground. It avoids any quick maneuvers that could result in a crash. I wanted to show you this because if you look at the perspective of flying over land and then in just a few moments sliding the drone offshore, turning it around and seeing the very same location in a different perspective entirely. It's really exciting to fly over water. Getting a different perspective on a shot can really make a good video. So take a look at this shot here versus this shot here, and you'll see what I mean. Now, one of the things that can happen when you're flying low over water is the sensors in the bottom of your drone can get confused, and this could lead to a change in altitude. When the water is glassy, this is the time that this can happen. Although on one occasion for me personally, it did happen on rough water. Now here's an example where I was flying the drone about 8 feet off the water, preparing to fly underneath a bridge. The water conditions were calm and glassy. As you can see, the drone started to lose altitude and it required me to make a correction. And here, after passing underneath the bridge, I had a dramatic loss in altitude. Stay on the ball, because if this happens, you'll need to make a quick adjustment to your altitude. Flying low over water is a real blast, really exciting, but pay attention to your altitude because it can cost you. Here's that example I was telling you about, where I lost altitude under choppy conditions, completely unexpected, on the west coast of Africa, flying down a beach. I just about lost my drone. Now, flying a long ways offshore is a whole different ball game. I would only attempt to do this type of flying if you were a very experienced pilot. Yes, I can repeat what other people inform you. Make sure you have a full battery, watch the winds and all that type of stuff. But this is strictly from my own personal experience. I only attempt to fly a significant distance offshore, whale hunting, chasing boats, looking for that perfect sailboat shot. Only on ideal conditions. I like the winds to be light and variable. If there's a small onshore wind, all the better. But ideal conditions for sure. The best advice I can give you for doing this is to know your battery burn really well. What I have discovered with my Mavic 2 Pro and my Mavic 2 Zoom is I can fly under calm, good conditions 170 meters for every 1% of battery burn. So if I'm going to go whale watching or take a nice shot of a ship offshore, I will only do it under calm conditions. Make sure you do mental calculations in your head that you're going to have sufficient battery left to fly the distance home. When you are comfortable with this, if you can fly 5 miles over a cornfield, you can fly 5 miles over calm water. You will have to ignore all the messages you get from your controller indicating low battery. It's strictly a battery management flight. Signal strength over water is just fantastic. Yes, there are exceptions, but in most cases you will get your longest range for sure over open water. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, tell your friends, subscribe to my channel, watch my sister video taking off and landing from a boat. If you have any questions regarding flying over water, just drop me a line. I'll be happy to reply. Thanks for watching.